All right, we're back. Episode 15, riding high after a huge Jets dub over the division rival Dolphins this past Sunday at MetLife. Got the boys back in town. Crack one the fuck open. Let's celebrate for that.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
Uh,
We
I
back.
I wanted to record last night, but my voice was gone, man, from yelling at all those shitty Dolphins fans that were sitting around me
Fuck
at
that.
MetLife on Sunday. They had a lot of shit to say, but it was pretty quiet when they were exiting out in the middle of the fourth quarter. I'll tell you that. Uh,
You
boys,
mean
how
after
we?
that Quinn and Williams stiff arm? They out?
Yeah,
That was good.
I
That was a
think
highlight tonight. Yeah,
I,
highlight.
I think state taxes are the least of Tyreek Hill's problems at the moment. We'll just say that. But how we feeling, boys? Spiga, we got you back, cleared out from
Yes,
this
sir.
storm. It's good to have
Boy
you back.
returned. Yep, I'm back. Hope everybody else is safe down in Florida, but we're good. Power's back. Couldn't watch the Steeler game, but we're ready to rock now. Watching the Dolphin game. Ooh, it felt good to watch a win. Felt real good.
How good has these couple days felt? Like couple weeks felt like huge win over the Dolphins. People talk shit about the Jets that whole week. We came back to beat the Steelers. Just how good does it feel to be? It feels like it's the first time in a while where we're going into an October game this coming weekend where like you feel good about the team. Like people are talking about the Jets. They're not the butt of the joke. How good do you guys feel right now? Just talk about what it feels like to be a Jet fan for the first time in a while.
Feels good fun. Remember how we were like after week one, where we're like, fuck this, they all fucking suck. This team's the worst. But it's like that's the trials and tribulations of being a Jet fan, man. But it feels good. It's definitely it feels different from when winning games, last year or whatever. Like it felt like you won a game, it's like, oh cool, but you always knew like, oh, we're gonna get smoked next week. This year I feel like they legitimately can go toe to toe with people.
Yeah.
For real.
I like that. I think that's the same thing. Like any other year, like we got to win. We probably shouldn't have got that one, but this year it's like, yeah, next year we probably get another one. I mean, next week we can probably get another one, or we at least have a chance.
Yeah.
So also really good.
Why do you think that's different this year? Do you think it's like the injection of the rookie talent combined with like Wilson taking another step? Like, what do you chalk that up to? Like, what's obviously the only thing that's really changed this year to last year is the rookies and a few big free agent pickups. But is it the immediate impact of the rookies? Do you think has been the biggest reason why we feel so good about the direction right now?
It feels like the end of last year, like even though they had dog shit players, there was fight in the team. They went down swinging even when they lost. Here, notoriously, the Jets are bad in the fourth quarter. Now they have the best fourth quarter out of the entire NFL with points they're putting up and comeback victories. Like you're like, oh, bad last drive. They're notorious for going 3 and out. You got Zach Wilson going 7 for 7, marching 80 yards down, touchdown.
Right.
And like this team has an identity now. And like even people are still shitting on Zach Wilson, like, oh, he's only putting up 180 yards, 200 yards, no passing touchdowns. Like that's not what this team is going to be built on. They want to run the football. They want to have a smash mouth, dual-headed monster at running back, and they're finally starting to get it. That's all you need. Let them do it. Let them grind defenses down, and then let Zach make plays. Don't fuck up, but make plays. And that's why you're seeing in the fourth quarter when defenses are tired, them taking advantage, then take your shots.
Yeah, it's a lot. It feels a lot like the way that they won during those Rex Ryan years, like ground and pound, and they drafted Sanchez high, and obviously I think Zach
Control the clock.
Zach Wilson's a lot more talented, just pure talent than Mark Sanchez is. He can do a lot more things than Mark Sanchez is, but I think you're not asking him to do necessarily. He doesn't have to be a super.
But even if you do ask Zach Wilson to do something, he can do it. He's got the arm talent to do it and the legs to do it. Like he was always like Sanchez. You're like, if you ask him to, he might crack under pressure. It's like Wilson standing. You were nervous. Yeah, he's standing face up to the pressure and like rising to the moment. And the moment's not too big for him, which I like. And that's to me is the step I was looking for from last year.
Yeah, and it feels obviously a huge part of that win against the Dolphins. Was it 100 yards receiving and like 99 rushing yards, like almost 100 in each is Breece Hall. Feels like that was really his kind of coming out party. It's slowly been building. And his usage is like off the charts. I mean, he's like a fantasy godsend at this point. He's probably the most attractive dynasty fantasy piece in the world right now. Like you can't trade for the guy. But I think he's up to now. I think this past week, and he was on the field for like 66% of the snaps. So he's on the field constantly because if they're not running the ball, they're passing the ball. And he's at like a historic rate in terms of like targets for a running back.
Wow.
I think he has the most targets for a running back per game since 2015. So it just shows how much a player like that can like transform the offense.
And he's a stud. And isn't it weird? I know like I'm not comparing apples to apples here, but doesn't the Sean Green LT kind of remind you in this group with Breece Hall and like Michael Carter? Like Michael Carter does not go down after the first hit. I don't care who it is. He's slippery and always somehow finds his way to like muscle to 3 or 4 yards every time. And he's like good out of the backfield. But then you've got like Breece Hall, this one cut monster. And like, I don't know, man.
I see what you're saying. I don't know if I can put it there yet.
Not yet, but I'm just saying, like, that backfield looks good.
Yeah, the backfield looks good.
Yeah. I think they're
Breece Hall looks really.
Yeah, I think their playing styles, like the ultimate end game is they want to be that.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
I feel like this is a little bit more exciting though, because like at that point in time, like LT was kind of past his prime. Like he was still effective, but like he wasn't LT that San Diego had in like 06. Like it wasn't that player anymore. I think this is more exciting because both of them are homegrown. And the veteran guy of the group's only in his second year. So it's a second year guy and a first year guy. I think that's what makes it more exciting. And I think that's why the whole kind of karma, if you will, around this team is just so exciting because every guy that's making an impact, we saw Sauce Gardner on Sunday, sacks and safeties and interceptions and just holding Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle in check. I know last week, Dennis and PJ, we talked a lot about this was going to be his first test, Sauce. He's locked up a couple good guys before, but this was going to be a test for him. And he really answered the call. I thought that was his best game of his career so far on Sunday, dealing with those two guys. He kind of rose to the occasion, showed up, played his ass off. And I mean, it's funny, Jets Twitter is going to show out for the rookie of the week voting again this week.
Oh yeah. It's now it's just who do you vote for? What Jets going to win.
You got to go with, if Breece Hall won it last week, you got to spread the love and go Sauce. You got to hammer the votes on Sauce.
I know. I would.
Speaking of last week, did anybody have 40-17 as their prediction for the score?
No, I actually was going to go back and listen. I think we all had like 28-24 or something in that range. I don't think anybody saw a 40 burger coming. But
the more important thing is that we all picked the Jets to win that game. Though.
We did, and I will get into it shortly here before we wrap. But I feel really good going into this week too. I mean, and that's kind of goes back to like what you were saying, Dennis. Like years past, like you win a game and you're like, oh, cool, we got one. Maybe we'll win another one in like 6 weeks if we're lucky. Like now you win and you're like, yeah, I think we could win this game next Sunday, and I think we could win the next one. I think we could win the one after that. Like they all feel winnable, or if they're not winnable, you should be in contention to win all of them coming into the fourth quarter. You don't feel like you're going into any game where you're like overmatched or
no.
I mean the looking at the schedule, I know we're going to talk about that a little bit later too, but I mean the only one really left on the Jets schedule that I think they're maybe outclassed by is Buffalo. I think that's obviously a tough game, and if you tell me they're going to get swept by Buffalo, I'd believe you. Like I don't think that's crazy. They're in a class on their own, but I mean every other game left on the schedule is a game that the Jets could win without.
We have to be slightly nervous about Rodgers at home this week off of bad loss.
It's Aaron Rodgers, no matter what. They still have a good defense, still have a good running game. So regardless,
they really don't have anybody they could throw it to. I mean, yes, they do have people they could throw it to, but we can defend them as like good because we defended Miami pretty well. But I still feel like he'll just like perfectly put something into somebody's hands like 10 times at least.
Maybe if we didn't have these corners, but
like Robert Tonyan.
Yeah, I agree. I saw a stat today, like the Green Bay defense, through the 5 games this year, they're giving up a passer rating of like 100.5. And they've played like Kirk Cousins, Josh Fields, Daniel Jones, whatever the fuck New England's quarterback's name is at this point.
Zeppy,
Yeah.
whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
like it's not the and it's not like they're playing household names, and they've gotten their secondary's gotten torched all year long. So I feel like the Jets are riding some momentum, and I mean the only thing that scares me about this game going into this Sunday is that obviously I don't think Green Bay's very good. They're okay, but they're desperate. They need a win, and
Yeah.
and it's Aaron Rodgers, and you're playing in Lambeau. But like, I think like they're not that good. Their defense isn't that good, and they're coming back a long fucking trip from London. Like most teams
Pissed
take
off.
most teams take the bye week coming back from London.
Yeah.
And when they had the opportunity to take their bye week, they did not want to schedule it after the London game. Someone was like, we won't take the bye. Give us the Jets when we get back. It's pretty much like a bye for us. And it's not going to shake out that way if they think that's how it's going to play out, because the Jets aren't just this walkover team anymore.
In all honesty, like we're all riding high on the victories. We're all feeling real good. Teams playing well. Not saying there's like, oh, the only people who could beat us or whatever. Like, honestly, the only obstacle that I see in this game against the Packers is themselves. Yeah. If they like come out flat, or like it's getting to their head a little bit, or like the defense comes out and looks like shit. I mean, there's ways you can lose this game. There really is. But you have to like keep your head down, keep your receipts, do whatever the fuck you want to do, but keep your head down, keep grinding. You're still the Jets, regardless. Like you still are the Jets, and like, yeah, you won back-to-back games. Yeah, Kenny Pickett. Yeah, like, you know, Dolphins coming off a lot of injuries, whatever. You win this game. Now there's nobody who could ignore you. There's nobody who could say it's a fluke, it's this, it's that. I don't care. Aaron Rodgers has beaten better teams with less. If you beat them on Sunday, the Jet fans, Jet Twitter, Jets, the players, everybody have a right to kind of to peacock a little bit. That makes it real, to me at least. I mean, like you said, there's still winnable games, there's losable games, whatever. You still have the Jet narrative. You got to earn it just a little bit more. You beat Aaron Rodgers in Lambeau in October with whoever he's got. You got your fucking juice.
Yeah, and this is the perfect segue, because I was just going to ask you, does it feel like, or has it happened yet, or do you think they're getting close to like? Do you think the Jets are for real right now, or do you think they need to beat Green Bay to show you that they're for real?
No, I think they're for real.
I don't think they need to beat Green. I don't think they're for real yet, but I also don't think they need to beat Green Bay to be for real. I think they need to do a little bit more to that after.
I think they're for real.
They're definitely for real. Devil's advocate between fucking Dennis and VJ. They're definitely for real. Like the tides turn. The team is younger. They're playing with continuity. The team's different. But they're still not a great football team yet. They still have to learn to close. They still have to, like, they're still playing a little sloppy. The defense still plays like Swiss cheese. They're showing up when it counts. Zach Wilson is showing up when it counts. The defense is, you know, locking it down when it counts. But there's still 3 other quarters to play, and, you know, Zach Wilson's not lights out. Or the defense isn't, you know, they played better this game, but like, look at them last week. They were Swiss cheese. Everybody's calling for Ulbricht's head. They're close. They're not a great football. They're a good team. They're not a great team yet. They still have a lot of things to do, but things are going in the right direction. And like Dennis has said, not saying the Packers is like a make or break game, but the Packers game will tell you a lot that you need to know, because now it's like you're going into another test, because it's still Aaron Rodgers. It's still a good defense. They have a great running back. Randall Cobb's still Randall Cobb, no matter how fucking old he is. But even if you play this game close, you lose in the fourth, you lose by 3 or 7, don't get blown out. Don't lose fucking 40-6 or 40-10. Then you're tumble back down the hill. Be competitive, play, because any team can beat anybody on a Sunday. But be competitive, keep going, keep grinding, and then we're for real.
Yeah, it feels like this is an opportunity, like kind of like you guys have all said, but like to announce that we're here. Like, we watch them every week. Like, we think that they're legit. We think they have a chance to definitely exceed where we thought they could. But like, I'm talking in terms of like a national stage. Like, if the Jets win this game, like, they're going to be talked about. Like, they're starting to talk about them this week. I know we were just talking about it on air before. Like, they just did like a 10-minute like spotlight on like NFL Countdown or whatever that shit is tonight, or NFL Live or whatever they call it on ESPN. And I'm like, when's the last time like ESPN spent more than like 35 or 40 seconds on the Jets? And it was a positive thing. Usually it's like the fucking butt fumble or
How
firing
dysfunctional we are.
firing their coaches or the quarterback catching mono or just all these crazy ludicrous things is usually why we're on ESPN for longer than 2 minutes. But for us to be on ESPN saying like, oh, are the Jets for real? People are paying attention. Like, it's nice. It's just nice to be in the middle of October going into week 6. The team's over 500 and like we're playing a game that means something. And I would imagine no matter how this game plays out on Sunday, whether they walk out of there with a win or a loss, they're still going to be, the worst they could be is 500 coming out of this week. And then the rest of the slate of October is fairly winnable. So like we're playing meaningful games going into November regardless. And that's more than we've been able to say probably since 2015, right? That Fitzpatrick year. Other than that, we've been out of this shit by the end of September, 1-3, 0-4. You knew they were toast then. This is the deepest that we've been over 500 since that 2015 season. And granted, the bar is very low. So I'm not saying they're making the playoffs. I'm not putting the cart before the horse, but it feels like that worm is turning a little bit. But
it's cool to see, like obviously what's a quarter of the season's through now. Yeah. It's cool to see them doing the early. Who's the draft order right now? And the Jets are always top fucking 3. The Jets are always, you're not even on the fucking list right now. Right. Like it's cool to see. It's refreshing. It's weird, but it's like, this is what we were waiting for. This is what we wanted them to do, but just keep fucking going. You want to talk about all gas, no break? It's like this. Don't get ahead of yourself. No dumb penalties. Don't play sloppy. Just keep battling, doing exactly what you're doing now. Wilson, like, was it Dennis yesterday or Sunday? I was literally like, they got to get Wilson out of the pocket. And then the next play, he did. Like, that's what they got. Like, the offense is starting to open up. Like, you have to start the season. Because, again, Wilson's 8 quarters into his 2022 campaign. Like, it's going to take time. But usually it's like, it's got to take time. But we're 1-3. Mm-hmm. Like, now to be ahead of the 8 ball when we're still haven't even hit our stride yet.
It's a great point.
You know what I'm saying?
I hadn't thought about it like that, but that's a great point. Like we're winning games and we're not like Zach Wilson's not even locked in yet. Like Garrett Wilson hasn't contributed in much in 2 weeks. Elijah Moore hasn't done a goddamn thing all year. Like, and we're still winning games. Just imagine when those guys all get on the same page and they could unleash the passing attack however they want, whenever they want at will. I mean, the sky really does feel like the limit. But I think the biggest thing that you take out of Sunday too is they scored 40 points, but the offensive line was fucking great on Sunday, and it was terrible the week before. And I think
you better pop that jersey up, young man, because AVT is the fucking dude. He's him. Yeah, whatever the kids say, he is him.
He's killed.
I mean, like for him to, I even said it in the group chat, I was worried about him playing right tackle because he's played everywhere before. He's played left tackle, so they put him there. He's played guard, they put him there. Then you're going to ask him to do something he never did. Yeah. And he crushed it.
Dominated.
Hot. So, I mean, I'm curious to hear your thoughts because I wrote this down. I want to think what you guys say. We all know what's going on with Becton. We like Becton, but we don't know. You got AVT, who's a stud, whatever. What are your thoughts on making him your franchise left tackle?
AVT?
He played his senior and junior year.
I mean, the thing is, why not? But I mean, that's up to the Jets. But if
Mitchell on right, he on the right guard, they've both been playing well before Mitchell got hurt. Dwayne Brown, who knows? But like, you've got so much shuffling going on your O line. Isn't your offensive lineman your best offensive line supposed to be like your left tackle?
Right. Yeah, I'd be for it. It's probably just a conversation they'd have to have with him, but I feel like he'd be down with that because you get paid a fuck ton more to be a left tackle. And so, I mean, he's in year what? 2 now? 3? 2, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean,
you're already MVP of the year.
Yeah.
He's the MVP this year, 100% right now.
He's going to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, he's definitely a Pro Bowl caliber player right now. He's only in year 2, but I mean, we're not that far around the corner from like when they're going to start talking about like picking up that 5th-year option. And when that comes up, or they want to talk long-term extension, like left tackle, you command the most money playing left tackle. But I mean,
Why not?
it feels like the thing, and this is something I really haven't thought of, but it's a good little talking point right now. Do you like? I don't know. They've moved him around so much. Like, do you want to like nail him down to one position right now and just keep him there the rest of the year? Or
Well,
like
right now, no. Well, because like you're paying Dwayne Brown, you're paying Fant, you're paying, but you got like a lot of uncertainty. I'm talking like long-term solution. Right now, he's basically your MVP of the O-line and he's your plug and play. Like it sucks to have him not have a position, but I would be like, hey man, we're gonna do what we need to do with you now, but we'll take care of you on the back end. Because like Fant is gone after this year, right? Dwayne Brown, I'm pretty sure is locked up for next year.
he's signed through next year. Yes.
Becton, I mean, no offense. I said I was going to die on Mount Becton, but the best ability is availability. He's not there. Max Mitchell seems like he's going to be pretty much a starting right tackle. You're going to need a center next year. Your guards, who knows? But like, it's worth a conversation to be like, hey man, we get it. Maybe you stay at right guard here, but after Dwayne Brown's gone, we're not going to draft a left tackle. We're going to look to move you over, and that's going to be you're going to be the anchor of the offensive line. You'll get paid more, you'll get more, and you're our best lineman. We want you on the most premier position. It's worth a conversation. I was watching and I'm like, this guy's so versatile. Yeah, you don't want to move him around a lot, but you want if you want someone protecting Zach Wilson's blind side, I'm pretty sure I trust him more than anybody else in the offensive line right now.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean that was all the difference last week. We saw I think the Jets had like the second worst protection rate in the league in that game against Pittsburgh. And then this past week, Zach Wilson had the 5th most time in the NFL.
It was weird seeing him stand back there and be able to just
he actually had time. And I think it's because the Jets legitimately put their best 5 offensive linemen out there. And it was that seems like that's right now the best combo of Brown and Tucker at the tackles, and then Tomlinson, Nate Herbig or Herberg, whatever the fuck that guy's good. That guy's been really good. And
he started a bunch of games. Was it the Chiefs, right, last year?
Chiefs, and he's played for the Eagles before too. Yeah, he's been really good. Saleh loves him. They said like, and that's the reason why they moved Vera Tucker to tackle, was because Saleh said that this guy's been so good in practice that it makes sense to leave that guy at guard, and if Vera Tucker could play tackle, it just gives them another really good offensive lineman to put out there. And so that's why they put him out there. I mean, if that guy, Nate Herberg, wasn't there, I think Tucker would be back at guard. Right. Yeah. But hopefully I'd like to see that as a consistent thing. The only thing that's going to fuck that up is when Mitchell is off IR in a couple weeks and he's ready to come back. Then what do you do?
He's still a rookie though. I mean, he didn't earn the starting spot. I mean, he played well, but again, I think there should be no, favoritism. You put your best 5 out there. I don't care who it is.
So so let's say hypothetically 3 weeks from now, Mitchell's ready to come off IR. They're going to activate him clearly. Do you put him back at tackle and then shift Tucker back over to guard and move him around again? Or if Vera Tucker continues to play well at tackle, do you just leave Herberg there at guard and let them play
you play the hot hand. I mean, it's a long season.
I guess that's true,
hurt, but
you'll see it as it goes.
Yeah, I guess we'll see how well we're doing in 3 weeks. I mean, if the Jets go 0-3 the next 3 weeks and Zach Wilson gets crushed, it's not a conversation to be had. Yeah, that's a good point.
2 other left guards.
Right. Like you guys are talking too much assumptions right now. We just won 40-17 against the Dolphins. We should talk about that. We should talk about Green Bay. Like we should talk about what's in front of us. Like don't talk about what's 3 weeks later. Let's talk about Green Bay.
All right,
PJ Belichick.
I know. Talking about 2 weeks, 1 week in front of us. I just want to see another big game for Quan Alexander, so that man can get paid and stay here for the rest of his career.
I love him. He's so good.
I want to see mad tackles from him. That's it. That's all I want to see.
Guy's a stud.
Every week, hard fucking hits.
He's always hitting people. He's always hitting people.
Guy's a psycho. I love
it. I love it.
Dude, I didn't even realize too, like I've been pretty critical of Mosley. Like he's terrible in coverage, but I was like, Guy's already got like 54 tackles. Like,
Well, that's the thing. He's a liability in
Always
coverage.
around the ball.
he can't. Yeah, he's always around the ball, but he's just a liability in coverage. He can't.
No, we got to show love to Carl Lawson because Carl Lawson is showing up right now.
Yeah, that game against
coming.
Miami was his coming out party. I think he's only going up from here.
Keep it rolling, though. That's the thing. I mean,
Always
granted, you had that grace period because he came off an injury too, a bad one. So it's like, let him find his sea legs, but like compound it again, have another good game, and then another and another. Because didn't Jermaine Johnson hurt his ankle?
Yeah,
he hurt, right?
he's questionable for Sunday. Yeah.
So and keep Bryce Huff in the lineup.
Yeah.
Like keep it. Like I don't know what they were doing at the beginning of the year. He's good. Keep him in the rotation and dial back the rotation. That D-line rotation they had was too much. Just like let the guys who are good, like ride the hot hand. Don't say every 2 plays we got to switch. Like if Quinnen's hot, keep him in. If John Franklin-Myers is hot, keep him in. If Carl Lawson's ice cold, take him out. Like the rotation was like too much. They couldn't get into a feel.
rhythm.
They couldn't get into a rhythm. Exactly.
Right.
Like dial it back. I think he's like Erblic's like overthinking it. Like just play defense. Like let them play defense. Stop trying to get weird. Stop trying to get crazy. Pin your ears back. Somebody make a play on the D line.
Go get Aaron Rodgers
and go fucking dismantle.
Get after him, man. It feels like
against the run because Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. I mean, they're legit, and if
they're good,
if they get 200 yards rushing, like then Jets don't have any time of possession after that. I mean, it's gonna be a long day.
It's gonna be who controls the clock this week.
Yeah.
You got 2 good running game teams right now who suspect or not suspect, but you're not sure what the Jets offensive, Zach Wilson, you're easing them back in, and Aaron Rodgers got nowhere to throw to. This is going to be a time of possession game. Whoever runs the clock is going to win this game.
Yeah, and the way to do that's obviously, like you said, running the ball. So it's going to be like a matchup of attrition. Like who's going to win the trench battle? That's going to be it's going to be a trench battle. Yeah. That's what it's going to be. It feels like the tide is turned though for like Quinnen Williams too. Like I feel like that dude's locked in right now.
Pay him.
Doesn't it feel like this is like the year he like we've been waiting since he was a rookie? Like, oh, he's good, but like it feels like this is the year like he's fucking locked. Like this.
You know what happens every year with the Jets is they cut bait too early.
Yeah,
like Leonard Williams, he was starting to come on, then they got rid of him. Sheldon Richardson starting to come on, they got rid of him. Like, stop it. Just fucking pay him. Let him rock out.
I agree. It feels like the best thing that happened was that argument that he had with Olbrich on the sidelines, though, 2 weeks ago, because they had like a fucking huge defensive meeting.
It was like the D-line coach.
Oh, the D-line coach. That's right. Yeah, they had like a fight on the sideline, and then Olbrich like made a backhanded comment like during his press conference, like he's out of breath every 3 seconds. That's why he has to like come in and out off the field, and so he kind of like made it seem like he was questioning his conditioning. And then later on, he said like, "Oh, that's not what I meant by it." But I feel like it like lit a fire under Williams, but I also think that he switched up, like you said, the rotation scheme because that next week is when Huff came back, and they've been playing him more since he came back. I think they just like cut the bullshit out, and they're like, "We're gonna rock with these dogs. Like if the guy's playing well, like we're gonna ride with him. Like we're not gonna like, oh, he played 2 plays, he needs a breather now. Like fuck that. Like they're gonna leave the guys that are balling out on the field and just let it ride." And it feels like that's definitely been working
Working.
Yeah. So if it's not broke, don't fix it. Because how many times have we done that before? Where like we just make personnel changes or call plays because like it's in the games. Like you have to have a feel for the game. Like you have a game script, but if like something's working,
improvise.
Like you can't just stick to the script. Like it's sometimes you just have to have a feel for what's going on. And it feels like that they've adjusted well to doing that the last couple
even
weeks.
Back to Todd Bowles, they've never done that well. Their in-game adjustments have been such shit.
Terrible.
But like I feel like they've not figured it out, but they're doing a better job at it. But this week, you can't fake it. Like McDaniels is like, you don't know what he is. He's like, oh, an offensive mastermind, but he don't know how to like coach. Like now you're going against LaFleur. Aaron Rodgers probably calls his own fucking plays out there. You can't fake this one. You got to really buckle down, and you got to like go Salah has to go toe to toe with LaFleur. You got
Zach Wilson needs to go toe to toe with Aaron Rodgers. Like if Zach Wilson goes out and throws like 2-3 picks, like this game's over.
It's all about the protection.
Yeah.
reads, like receivers can't make drops. Like, it's gotta be mistake free.
Clean.
Yeah, it's gotta be clean.
Yeah, clean game.
Yeah,
It's a
I mean,
winnable game. So see what happens.
I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Wilson, it's the only turnover he's had since he came back was that bad pick right before the half in the Steelers game. Right, he's been clean since then. And
Yeah.
I mean, they came back in the second half clean, and they dominated last week clean. I mean, the guy plays turnover, mistake-free football. That you win. I mean, that's the recipe to winning. That's the recipe to win is just play a fucking clean game, and he's done that. As long as he keeps doing that, there's no reason why they can't take advantage of the situation and pull these out.
You're right.
What are you guys feeling for Sunday? What's go around, do prediction time. What start with you, PJ?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take the money line. I'm gonna bet the Jets to win the game. I'll probably bet the spread on the Jets on a parlay. I do like the Jets' chances.
The gambling show? What is this?
What are they,
I think-
7-point dogs?
7.5 yesterday. Let me look. Hold on.
I think it went down a half a point today. I think it's 7 now.
I mean, it's definitely scary that like Aaron Rodgers, you're going to Lambeau, you're going to Aaron Rodgers. They're coming off a loss, pissed off. They're coming from London, but I mean, they haven't played. The defense hasn't played well. They got torched by Bailey Zappi. They got torched by the Giants. If these teams can score and move the ball on the Packers, the Jets can definitely do that as well. So I mean, right now the Jets have the momentum. The Packers are pissed off. They try to use this as like a get right game. But like I would love to see the Jets just blow the doors out of everybody and just win the game. Just win the game outright.
Feeling you there, my brother. Feeling you there. How you feeling, Dennis?
Jets winning 24-23.
Oh. Last second field goal?
They missed last second field.
They're gonna go for 2 somewhere and mess up.
Okay.
One of those 2.
The best thing about recording all this shit is we got receipts. So if it happens, you look like
Keep
a fucking
those
genius.
receipts.
I know. I'm pretty sure last week I said Brees Hall would have a big game and Sauce would have a good game.
Yeah.
And then we'll have to go back and look. But I'm gonna go Brees Hall again and then Quinnen Williams on the defensive end.
Okay. Love it. Love it. How you feeling about it, Spiga? Oh man. This isn't a modern day Jet fan.
No, it's optimism. It's because again, like just what we said, I don't want to get a big head. I don't want to be like, oh, we can beat anybody, even though we can go toe to toe with anybody. It's still Aaron Rodgers. I think the Jets win 24-17.
Damn.
I think they win. I think it's going to be a game, like another statement game like today, where they go wire to wire.
I do too.
Wire to wire, they come out. It might be like a 3-0 first quarter or whatever, but I think they don't give up the lead. And it's a closer game, but I think they pull away late.
But just the way they've been winning, they won comebacks win. They had comeback wins, and they had this one win 40-7.
Which is why they need to play from. Another thing I was talking about how they gotta learn how to to clean it up. They gotta learn how to play. Like even Salah, you can't play to not lose. He's got to play to win. I tweeted it a shit ton of times. Even the play calling at the end of the game was a little suspect. Yeah. Like they were running. Do what was working. And a team like the Dolphins, who is still good, a team like the Packers, who's Aaron Rodgers, if you're winning, you got to put your foot on their throat and don't let up. Like do the Belichick thing. I don't care if you put up 1,000,000 points. Mm-hmm. Don't run the ball. Don't run, punt. Like do what's working. Hammer them into the ground, what all gas, no break should be, and go wire to wire. I want to see a win like that, and then I'll think they're for real.
I mean, with what Salah has been telling, them in the locker room, saying this is normal. Like expect this to be normal. Like yeah, like as a team, I think they're expecting to go up there and win the game. That's what I think they're expecting out of each other.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's a confidence booster. Like the team has some swagger with them right now. Like when you don't win, it works both ways, right? Like when you lose, it's contagious and it wears on everybody. and you show up at the field expecting to lose. Like you're just like, oh, we never win, so why would we win today? But like when you win, and I think the unique thing about this team though is like we've said it a couple times already tonight. A lot of it's first year, second year guys. Like that's the core of this team is young guys, and so like they haven't been in this culture for a long time of like losing. It's all new, and they're like this new era, if you will.
It's
And
a new
so
era.
yeah, and so like they've said it a few times, like we don't give a fuck about this. Like there is no same old Jets here. Like we're not part of the same old Jets. Like this is a new regime. We're a new core here, and like we're like get fucking used to this. Like we're gonna win a lot of games, and like it's not just something they're saying. Like they actually believe that.
I think they've proven that they should believe it.
Yeah,
but I'll tell you what. If they take 2 of 3 against the Packers, Broncos, and the Patriots, you wear all black, blacked out against the Bills, and you come out ready to rock. I don't care. Statement. You want to talk about swagger? I want like Kelly Green, Thursday Night Football, Jamal Adams dancing on the field, swagger that game. Like come out stealth black.
With what Stephon Diggs just said, that came out with the interview with Von Miller, it's like now I want Quentin Williams to stiff arm Stephon Diggs.
I think they're already scheduled. They already have like the black uniform. They're wearing the black against New England. The 30th.
They are good. Oh, because Halloween. You're right.
No, New England. Yeah, New England. Oh yeah, no,
October 30th. Yeah.
Yeah, but they announced like because they're wearing the black helmet, the new helmet that they haven't worn yet. So when that helmet came out, they announced like 4 games that they were wearing the black helmet with the black.
Oh, that's so dope.
And I'm assuming the other one is the Thursday Night Football against the Jaguars.
I don't know. There's 4 of them. So
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I don't remember what games they were, but I know the first one is the New England game for sure.
Damn. All right. Well, yeah. So they're probably gonna do blacked out because it's the day before Halloween. They did that against the Bengals and worked last year.
You know what's fucking wild? They haven't worn the green once this year.
Sucks.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
But it sucks. But think about it. They're not going to wear it. I already saw the Packers are wearing some anniversary jerseys. That's a solid color.
They're wearing their 1950s jerseys.
Yeah. So the Jets are going to have to wear white again this week.
Do white and black again. It's working.
And then they're on the road next week in Denver. They're probably not going to be able to wear green. And then they're wearing black against New England. So you're going to go into week 10 having not worn like your primary green jersey. I think that's fucking weird.
But I don't like the green jersey. Like I feel like the black should be their home jersey. The stealth black is hot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think the black's their best jersey, but I don't think a lot of people like it. Like the old school traditional Jet fans like hate the fact that there's black involved. I don't give a fuck. Like it's a modern trendy look.
Last year, 2 years ago, I was like, they got to put black in this. I want to see black and green. So
yeah,
I love
it. It looks great. I love the black. But I think their best look, honestly, is the one they've been rocking. I love the white
white and the black
pants. Yeah, that's a sick look. I wish they'd wear the black helmet with that though, instead of the green helmet. I think it'd look a lot slicker if they wore the black helmet with the white jersey and the black pants rather than the green helmet. But who am I, man?
I would honestly like. I don't mind because the logo you're stuck with. I would like to see that like as a matted black or a matted green, like you know what I mean, like imagine like that would like, instead of like because it's like shiny and like weird looking here.
Right,
it's cool, but imagine that as like a like old school like the Hawaii jerseys, like just the black on black on black.
Yeah,
that would be pretty hot.
Yeah, that would be dope. But yeah, I'm feeling same thing here. I feel a Jets wire to wire dub. I think it's going to be a bigger win than you. I'm feeling like some crazy shit. Like
break the internet, baby. Let's go.
I'm feeling
we retire Aaron Rodgers.
I feel like a 31-17, 34-17. Yeah.
And another rookie of the week.
Yeah, I mean that if we win, there's probably going to be a rookie contribution to it. I mean,
true.
It's hard not to be. Every skill position player we have is a rookie or just about. I mean, it's hard not to be there, but I don't know, man. Like I just think Green Bay's vulnerable, and they're not like Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, he's not. He's definitely a step back from where he was a couple of years ago. He's still dangerous. He's still good, but like, I don't know, man. I just feel like this is like now when you face Brady, like, oh well, it's Brady. Like he's not great anymore. Like, can he beat you? Sure, but like, I don't know.
Not the way he used to.
He's not the guy he used to be. Like Rodgers is still good. He's still probably a top 12 quarterback in the league.
But they're starting to fight with each other now. Like Rodgers is calling out his receivers. The cornerback was like, "Oh, if we lose against the Jets, like whatever." Like then Rodgers is like, "Yo, shut the fuck up." Like, what are you talking about? Did you hear that?
No.
Like, I think it was Jair Alexander.
Oh,
I
did see that. Yes.
We're not worried until we lose to a team like the Jets. And Rodgers was like, "Yo, shut up. Like, we can lose to everybody."
Yeah.
Like, he kind of like dial it back.
Yeah, like New England just took you to overtime in your house
with their
third string quarterback. So like
a 7th round rookie.
If you think that was bad, wait till Zach Wilson rolls through town, man. Like that's nothing yet. But I don't know. I just feel like they're a vulnerable team. They haven't played well. Their defense
Long trip home.
Their defense has had a lot of cracks in it, and the Jets have been hot offensively, and I feel like they're getting in a rhythm. And I think there's another wrinkle to this whole thing that we're not going to spend more than a minute or two touching on, but like the knowledge that both of these teams have of each other because of like the connection with the LaFleur brothers and Saleh with LaFleur. Like,
wasn't he his best man at his wedding?
Yeah, and LaFleur said 2 weeks ago, he said it going into the Dolphins game actually the other day. He's like, I watch every Dolphins game because he's boys with McDaniel. And he's like, I watch every Packers game because of my brother. And he's like, I watch like
everything.
I watch their film. Like I watch them every week. Like I'll sit down on a Monday night and I'll watch my brother's game. And so like they know each other. Like they watch each other's shit. And it's not just like, oh, they're gonna start watching tape on Wednesday and see like
they've been watching each other.
They've been watching each other. And so the Packers haven't played well for the first 5 weeks. And they know that. Like, if they know where they've cracked, they know where they've been bad. It's a little bit more than an ordinary matchup. Like, these two teams know each other well, at least from a coaching perspective.
Yeah.
I think Rodgers is going to be pissed. I think that Sauce and DJ Reed, they're confident that they can match up with any receiver, and they look at the receivers on the Packers and they're going to lock them down. And I think Rodgers is gonna have a hard time.
I know, you're right, but Rodgers is not the guy you get cocky against. Like you want to get cocky then again next week against.
If your assignment is to cover your guy, and the Sauce and DJ Reed covers their guy,
right?
I mean, there's nothing else.
No, you're right. But my fear that all of a sudden is then he attacks the tight ends, attacks the seams. He takes them out of like Rodgers is smart enough to take your best player out of the game.
That's why I think AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones are going to have a big game. That's why I think it's going to be.
I think Cobb's going to have a big game. The middle of the field is vulnerable because he's going to go against Mosley, and we don't know the safeties. They played well last week or so, but still, like that's always been the Jets' Achilles heel is up the middle. And I'm optimistic, but like Rodgers is the guy you don't get cocky against. Like again, he's like a Brady. Like Brady's good, he might be, but he has that extra gear that he'll tap into if he has to.
Yeah, and but the Giants beat him. Giants beat him. You know what I mean?
Giants are good. I hate to say Giants are kind of good.
Giants beat them.
Their defense is good.
I think our secondary is good though. That's the thing. Like,
yeah, I know.
Rod, like you have to remember, like, I feel like the image everybody has of Aaron Rodgers, like 2-step drop, chuck it up 60 yards to like Jordy Nelson or Devontae Adams or Jermichael. Like those guys are gone. Like he's thrown to Alan Lazard, Romeo Doubs, Randall like whatever. Yeah. They're nice, like number 2A, 2B.
There's no stud on that field.
Like there's no studs. So like I've seen what DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner have done to Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill and Amari Cooper and Mark Andrews. And the list goes on.
They get lost in the sauce, baby.
Jamar Chase, like we've locked up Jamar Chase. Like we've locked up a lot.
Everybody's locked up Jamar Chase this year, though.
Yeah, we've locked up a lot. We've locked up a lot tougher guys than the ones that we're going to face this Sunday. So I mean, if the corners go out there and do their job, I mean, Rodgers can be locked. But if they're not open, what do you do?
That's what I mean about don't get out coached. Like, don't take that and like, oh, we'll just leave them on an island because Rodgers will figure out a way around it. Like PJ said, the running game will flourish. Play sound football. Keep your head down. Keep fighting. Don't look at like, oh, we're making a statement. Like, just ball out and win. It's all then we're for real. Then we can start having the conversation.
I agree. All right, boys. Well, we're gonna wrap it here. Let's hope. We're hoping. I think we're all on the same page. We're feeling a dub. Very winnable game going into Lambeau this weekend. Just
Don't
let's hope-
forget to
let's hope-
vote Sauce and or Brees Hall, Pepsi Rookie of the Week. Just Pepsi. Just send the belt to Florham Park. We'll figure out who gets it.
Yeah, I vote for both of them. Give.
I've been, bro. Bang, 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 bang.
Give like 6 votes to Sauce, 4 votes to Brees, 4 votes for Brees, 6 for Sauce. Just keep switching it up. Who has that much fucking time anyway to like sit there and vote 1,000 times for a Rookie of the Week?
Bro, Jets Twitter. Jets Twitter's
Twitter's crazy.
They can make anybody like if there's like a fan vote anything, the Jet guy will win. Just solely because like that's how and like Jet Twitter's cool though, because like you look at the other Twitters, they're like assholes. Like we're kind of like fun assholes, but like we're not like mean because we know we haven't earned anything. Yeah. But like Jets Twitter's undefeated. I don't care who you are, and they like a swarm and attack. Anytime you attack one person, people come from the rafters, like from downtown, and just boom, and they'll attack you. Don't fuck around, Jet Twitter.
Not for nothing. I know Brees Hall won Rookie of the Week last week, but like Dameon Pierce probably should have won it. Like if you're going based off like the dude had like 138 yards rushing and like 2 touchdowns. Like Hall had like 45 yards receiving and a touchdown.
But this week though, for real, like looking at everybody else, it should be Brees Hall.
Should be Brees.
But like I know Sauce had a game, man. Sauce had a game.
Safety got him. Safety, pass defense, 7 tackles, interception.
Yeah. He had a monster game. That was like the Sauce coming out party. It was the Brees coming out party, and it was the Sauce coming out party. I want like I know we're gonna wrap here, but I want another Garrett Wilson game. Like that Cleveland game was so fun when Garrett Wilson was like unguardable. Like I want another one of those. But on the back end, like I want to see Elijah Moore. Like
baby.
There you go, baby. Love it.
But one thing I'm respecting though is that like I remember listening on the broadcast on Sunday, the Jets have like the most diverse catches across like they're like he's thrown to like it's like 15 different receivers.
Yeah.
And they all have like 10 catches or they all have like 12 catches. There's no like spike in anybody. And I think that's what keeps them good is like keeping on your toes. You don't know who it's going to be
because you can't commit to any of them.
Even Corey Davis is getting love, like especially in the fourth quarter. Like I think that's some games you're going to have people spike because they're going to get the hot hand. But like I love the diversity of him spreading the ball out.
Yeah, I mean, if you saw the Braxton
Holmes does that.
If you saw the Braxton touchdown, the play before that, or a couple plays before that, they faked it to him and they gave it to Brees, and he came out for a big run. So this time they actually gave it to him, and the defense didn't know he had the ball, and then he was able to go
right. That's the touchdown. Yeah,
when it means the floor is figuring it out. That's what I like to see. He's like they're making it, and they're actually just calling the play sheet. He's watching the game and seeing what works, what doesn't. And like I said, rolling with a hot hand. Like that's why I like what they're doing. Don't change it. Just fucking keep going. Keep going.
I think a huge underrated part of all this too is like LaFleur couldn't call the same plays when Joe Flacco was there. Like the offense had to run different because Zach Wilson wasn't there. Like now that Zach Wilson's there, he can actually run the shit that he wants to run. You have to like water it down, I feel like a bunch.
That's why the running game's taken off because you have to respect the RPO. You have to respect the play action. Like Zach Wilson can throw, he can run, he can
downs, man. He could use his legs.
That's what I'm saying. Like you gotta like you have to Joe Flacco, like if it's like, oh hey, he's he's shotgun, you could drop a bunch of people because what is he gonna do? He ain't running nowhere. He's not handing it off.
Right.
Like there's an element to the game that the playbook is starting to open up. And like once we hit our stride, man, watch out.
I agree, man. I agree. I'm feeling it. I'm fucking feeling it. Big dub in Green Bay this weekend. That's gonna wrap it here for us. No, I had to bail on it. Fucking flights are like $900 round trip to Green Bay.
No.
Who the fuck's going to Green Bay? Who's going to Wisconsin?
Nobody. Yeah. There's not that many flights out. That's why they're so expensive. But I was gonna fly to Milwaukee.
Whatever, we'll be watching it all.
Yeah, it was like $900 each round trip. Fucking $1,000 for a hotel for 3 days. But it cost me like $4,000 to go for a weekend.
You're not a real Jet fan. I would do it.
I could go to a fucking island all inclusive for like 2 weeks for that price.
That
Loved
would
it.
have been like
It's like a Super Bowl ticket.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
could you catch Brees Hall in a Lambeau Leap?
There you go.
You can't put a
can't-
price tag on that.
I can't top that. Feels like a good spot to wrap this here. So
Cool.
appreciate you all tuning in. We'll be back probably next Monday or Tuesday night. Hopefully recapping a huge Jets dub from Lambeau. Until then, take it easy. Jet
go,
the
baby.
fuck up.
I'm on Brees mode on Sunday. Let's go.